when I got a message from the director of the Gulf Coast Bird Observatory that said, "Flamingos, are you going?" To which I replied, "Is that a bar or a restaurant or what is it?" And he goes, "No, no, no. They found some flamingos in Galveston." And when we got there, we were very surprised. There were no birders at all. It was just fishing guys on the peninsula. And as soon as we walked out, they were there. They were right in front of us. In fact, I think of anybody, we got the closest views. We were very lucky. So there were a lot of questions about whether these were escapees or not, but they're actually a different species. So they're what's called American flamingos rather than the escapee, which is greater flamingo. And they typically are found in the Yucatan Peninsula, Cuba. After seeing them, we did a bit of research, and it appears that Hurricane Idalia pushed all these flamingos into the US.
Absolutely. So American flamingos used to breed in the continental US, particularly in southern Florida. But like many wading birds with glamorous feathers, they were persecuted for the use of their feathers in fashion at the end of the 1800s. And by 1900, they had been extirpated from Florida as their breeding range. Today, they breed in the Caribbean, particularly on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, and in Cuba. And so the birds that we are seeing now that were carried to us by Hurricane Idalia were likely swept from those locations or from transit between the two.
I would say flamingos are pretty special. They have a special place in people's heart because they're an iconic species. You know, and the number of non-birders who came up and asked what we were looking at, and we said, "Oh, there's flamingos." They were in wonder that flamingos were in the US.
Yeah, it's very common actually for birds to be carried along with hurricanes. And in fact, among bird watchers in the know, it's very common to go to the coast or otherwise go to see what hurricanes have brought after they've passed. You can imagine being a bird as a hurricane is passing over, easily getting trapped within the eye of the hurricane and wanting to stay there in the relative calm until it reaches land and you can land. So it's not a surprise to see flamingos coming to our shores. We're going to see more frequent and stronger hurricanes that likely will continue to bring them to our shores. The real concern, I think, with climate change for many of these species is, will their existing habitat continue to support them? And will there be new habitat to replace it in the event that it's inundated by sea level rise?